sewing friends, it's Friday Sews.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen and this is my sewing room, and it's Friday, which means Friday Sews, when we talk about sewing in life. So click on the hashtag and you'll find all kinds of sewists that you will love who all do a Friday Sews, and they'll catch you up with, you know, the stuff they're working on in their life. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Sewing, let's move on in to the sewing. I have not been doing too much sewing because I was gone all last week. And so let me tell you what I am working on. It's Simplicity 9012. And the reason I'm working on that is because apparently tank tops are out. And for summer 2024, vests are all the rage. So I love vests. They class everything up. And so I'm making this sleeveless one because the other one's kind of a top. You know, I cut the sleeves and I thought, no, I don't like that. So I'm making it out of this shirting from Joann's from a couple of years ago. I am up to the point where I just need to put the armhole facings on, and then I can hem it and put the buttons and buttonholes on, and that's it. I got rid of a lot of buttons, so I'm sure I will have some. I don't know which ones I will like, but that's gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute enough to go with my cropped jeans that I put a yoga waistband on, and you can see that video where I did that up there. Okay, this happened before that. 2 weekends ago, I decided I was gonna go on a trip, just spur of the moment. And I had refashioned this little skirt. I thrifted it, and it did not have pockets, so I had a side zip and a waistband, and I took the waistband off, took the zipper out, and then put pockets in on both sides, and then put a zipper up the back. But then I decided I didn't want to put that waistband back on. So I took the zipper out, closed up the seam, and then just used some 3-inch elastic that I had to go around the top, which makes it fit so well, so comfortably, and it doesn't even look like it's gathered. So I wanted something to go with this so I could wear it on my trip. So I pulled out McCall's 7249, made this view, which is view A, and I went shopping in my stash. This calls for knits, and really I think the best knit for this would be a rayon knit, because you need something kind of soft to accommodate all this gathering, the shirring that comes down and gathers on the side. So only thing I could find that I had that was gonna work was Lycra, like swimsuit fabric. So I thought, well, you know, I'll try out the pattern. If I like it, then I'll make it again in another fabric. So this is it. And you know what? It turned out so cute. I was really impressed, and it was a really easy pattern. Couple of things about it though. First of all, the neckline, I couldn't get it right. It's one of those blind stitch to the dot, clip the thing to the stay stitching, and oh my gosh, why are those so hard? I can never get them right. So I just opened it up about 1 inch on either side and left it until the very end, and then I top stitched it, and it looks pretty bad. So yeah, I have to fix something else on it. So I didn't have time at the time. So I'm gonna go back in and look at it again, at least when I make the change. So I tried it on with the skirt after I had gotten it pretty much finished. And you can see that there's well, actually when you wear it, this pulls up a little bit. And this t-shirt part pulls down. And I didn't like that. I thought, what is going on here? Well, I went back to the pattern and I looked at the line drawings, and I began to see, it's supposed to do that. So I was getting this wrinkling kind of situation going on in the front. And also because of this fabric, it is a fabric issue, I think, the outside crossover layer kind of pulls up from the shoulder. I really do think it's the fabric. So couple of iffy things, but I thought, you know what, it's good enough. I'm gonna take it on the trip with me and I'll be fine. So I did, and I got it out the day that I was going to wear it, and I had my BFF slash sister Trish with me, and also my daughter Mia, who is a fashionista. She is the fashionista of our family. So I was going to wear it, and I put it on, and I had it on the outside of the skirt, and I said, what do you think? And they said, and I said, well, what if I fold up the hem and just tape it or something until I can fix it? And they said, well, I don't know. Why don't you tuck it in? Because it's good to have something tight on top if you've got something loose on the bottom. And I thought, okay. Well, the thing is, it blended right into this waistband. It just blended right in. So that solved the problem. And so I wore it like that all day. And I was really happy about it. One other thing I wanted to tell you was that there's negative ease in this. So when you look at the finished garment measurements and you look at a 14 and you think, holy cow, that's like 2 inches less than my bust line measures. And there's no ease. Well, the thing is, yes, you're right, there is no ease because it's negative ease, because this is going to stretch. And the reason that it's okay, at least with me, is because you've got these 2 pieces on top. So it's not going to be stretched across your bust line like, holy cow, it's too tight. No, it's not, because these go over top, and that's what makes up the difference. I mean, it ends up looking like it fits better, and then these are on top, so it doesn't look like it's too tight. Okay, so that was McCall's 7249. I got some happy mail from England. I always love it when I get packages from England. And it was wrapped in this tissue, which is doll clothes. And I think I'm gonna keep it. Obviously it was, a pattern that didn't matter to Adam from Adam Sews, who sent me this. And I just think it's kind of cool. I looked at it and I thought, oh, doll clothes. So I think I'm gonna hang on to it. Well, he sent me this beautiful fabric. It is cotton, just 100% cotton. So I thought, oh, that is so pretty. Look at that. And then I looked at the selvage. Do you see this? It says Laura Ashley. Adam knows what a maniac I am for Laura Ashley. Oh man, I'm so taken with Laura Ashley. And I couldn't believe he found fabric. He said somebody was destashing it, and so he just thought he'd send it to me. It's a lot. It's a fair amount of fabric. I have not measured it, but I would venture a guess that it's probably 3 yards, or at least 2.5. I have Laura Ashley fabric. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna make with this. I'm gonna have to have something really special pattern for that. So that, well, it hasn't been washed yet, so I can do that. And then I just got back from Joann's, and I bought a couple of patterns, just 2, one that I've wanted for a while, and I wanted to catch up on my Laura Ashley collection. I always, when I see a new one come out that's even a vintage reprint, I want it because it goes in my collection. Here's what I want to say about this. Joann's has been the go-to place for $1.99 patterns, and they have them about every week or so. Then they'll take a week off, and then they'll start up the cycle again. Well, Joann's went into bankruptcy, and nobody knows what's going to happen. And so they're shifting things around, and I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the fabrics they put on sale and the patterns. And so McCall's and Know Me patterns were $3.99, and that's not $1.99. That's twice as much. But I thought, I'm going to go ahead and get these. Actually, I had 2 children's patterns that were Laura Ashley that I was going to get, and I thought, these are $4 essentially. And I don't know if that's going to be what happens in the future or what's going to happen, but I think Simplicity and maybe Butterick are going to go on sale for like $2.99, maybe next week or in a couple of weeks. But I wonder if our days of $1.99 patterns are gone. So I didn't want to take the chance, and I thought, there's always another time that you can buy a pattern, and you can get them on the website for a good deal. So I went ahead and got these 2. They are McCall's 8490, which is a Laura Ashley reprint, of course, vintage reprint. I do not think I have this pattern. I haven't checked yet, but I'm pretty sure I don't. But, you know, it's a reprint of an original. It's Laura Ashley, say no more. The other one I got was Know Me 2076. Now this, you know, I've looked at Know Me patterns a lot, and I've just never found anything that I thought would suit me. But this, I think will. This is very reminiscent of Simplicity 8640, which is an Elaine Heigl design that I have made like 10 times because I love that dress. It's just my favorite dress. So this was very reminiscent of that. It is so cool. Here are the line drawings, and you can see how that skirt is attached. It's just really cool how it's like a spiral. And I just saw it and I thought that is so reminiscent of Marcy Tilton and Elaine Heigl, and I think I want to give it a try. So I picked up that one too. These were both, like I said, $3.99. And that is all of the sewing. Moving on to life. I have a story to tell you. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I've wanted to go see my daughter Mia, who lives in Georgia. She moved up there, bought a house last November, and it's a fixer-upper. And so I have flipped 2 houses, and she keeps saying, Mom, when are you coming up to look at my house? When are you coming up to help me with my house? Mom! And Mia is my extroverted person who is such a pleasure to be with. She's also my fashionista daughter. So, you know, I just love her. I love spending time with her. So I was mentioning to Trish, my BFF / sister, she's really become more of a sister to me than a BFF. And I was texting her and saying, you know, we need to go up there. We need to do a road trip and go up to Georgia and see Mia. She said, I would love that. And I said, great. And she goes, when? And I said, I don't know. And she goes, well, I'm free next week. And I said, oh. Then I realized I don't have anything going on. So sure, let's go. So the plan was for me to drive from my house, the 3.5 hours from the Gulf side of Florida across, which is not as far as you might think, to the Atlantic coast side and up to where she lives, which is near Kennedy Space Center. And so I did that. I finished up my little top, got all packed. It was Monday, and I was going to drive to her house, spend the night, and then we were going to head up to Georgia from her house. So that was fine. As I was packing, trying to get out of here, my husband's talking to me. I'm in a hurry because I was trying to get out before we had some people coming to talk to us about stuff we're having done to the house. And I just didn't want to be here. So I was hurrying, and he had me thinking about 20 other things. And he said, yeah, I've got it all loaded in the car. It's great. I took off and I drove to Trish's. That night, I realized I had forgotten my backpack. Okay, here's the thing. I am a woman of a certain age. But you might be like this and not be this old, you know. It's just that you get into a routine and you start, you know, expecting things in your life to go a certain way. And so for me, that's the things like my contacts, my glasses, my cords that I plug everything in, my laptop, my meds. Went to go to bed, realized I did not have my backpack. I left it here. Duh. So I hardly slept. I thought, okay, number one, I can probably go to a pharmacy and get my meds. Just to not just tell them I forgot them and I'm on vacation, and they'll, you know, usually give you enough for until you get home. Could have done that. I did not have my glasses. I do have glasses I keep in the car to drive with, but they're not strong enough, so I can't see. I did have my contacts, but my contacts have been acting up, and so I thought, what am I going to do if they tear or I need another one? I don't have any spares. So I've learned, keep a spare pair in the car. I don't have my cords, but my daughter has an Apple Watch, and I can charge my phone in the car, really. I mean, and who in their house does not have, you know, 10 at least places to plug in your phone? So These were all solvable problems. But because they added up, I just didn't want to be without my backpack. And I did not sleep very well. I stressed out. I kept trying to think of how can I get that here? My youngest daughter offered to drive it up. I said, no, it's too far. You don't want to do that. And I talked to Trish the next morning. Okay, she is a person that just goes with the flow. She just says, oh, okay, well, we can do this. I am not. I am high strung. I am a lot. So, you know what? She just said, at my suggestion, let's just go back to your house. You can get your backpack. It'll delay us a day, but we're not on a schedule. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So we got in the car and drove the 3.5 hours back to my house and spent the night. Got up the next morning, made sure the backpack was in the car, and we set out for Georgia. Okay, side story. Trish lives on the mainland. Then there's a river. On the other side of the river is an island, and her husband grew up on this island. And then you keep going further, and then there's the beach where the Atlantic Ocean meets it. This is true for a lot of Florida. Like, there's always some kind of waterway in between you and the beach. So there's this place that it used to be a Dairy Queen on the island. And Trish used to live on the island. She and her husband built a house there. So they've been going to this Dairy Queen for, a long time. And so we went there last time I visited, and I said, every time I come here, we're going to have to go to the Dairy Queen and get soft serve ice cream. I love soft serve ice cream. Now, this Dairy Queen was owned by a man, and then it shut down for a little while because he did not want to continue the franchise agreement that he had with Dairy Queen. So he closed it down and then he reopened it. So everybody calls it the Dairy Queen, but it's not really a Dairy Queen. But they have soft serve ice cream. They do not yet have the twist, the chocolate vanilla twist. You know what I'm talking about? But they do have the dip coating, the chocolate dip coating. Ooh, I love me a dip cone. Okay, I'm obsessed with soft serve ice cream. You can have all the fancy scoop stuff. That's fine. I want soft serve. So we always go there and get soft serve ice cream. Okay, so we're driving to Georgia. We're just barely into Georgia. There are 3 lanes and no traffic. And we're driving along, and Trish is driving. And so we're driving along, and all of a sudden she goes over and gets off on an exit. And as she's doing it, she's going, Dairy Queen, ice cream. And I'm like, oh, you have to stop. So we did. We went and we got Dairy Queen ice cream. And just a soft serve cone. Ate it, went on our way. I think that was a dip cone, if I'm not mistaken. Well, anyway, so we also had ice cream while we were up visiting my daughter. Got up there, had a fantastic time. Because I had seen a video, and so had Trish, from Erin, I think it's Erin Sews. She's got bright pink hair, and she was on vacation in Atlanta, and she went to Fine Fabrics and Gail K Fabrics. So we knew these fabric stores were there. So the first day, full day that we were there, we went to Fine Fabrics, and it was so overwhelming, so overwhelming.
Am I in heaven? Did I die? Or am I at Fine Fabrics?
Yeah.
I think I died in
There's a
heaven.
difference. Look at this, holy cow. Man, there's a lot of fabric. And this is just one row. Wow, overwhelming. Went to this cute little quilt shop, struck up a conversation with a lady there. And it's so funny because you begin to realize you speak a language, and so does she. It was kind of fun. So bought a little bit of quilt fabric and then went on over to Fine Fabrics. I've discovered on this trip that I do not like Korean barbecue. No, tried it, was not a fan. We also, the next day, went to Gail K Fabrics, and it was a much better shopping experience because it wasn't quite so overwhelming. And she walked in and said...
Are we picturing or video?
No, we're video.
Oh. Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
Yes, look at all this. Already, it hits you right when you walk in the door.
It does, and I'm going to quickly
do this, and
Both of these places have a lot of formal wear, a lot of wedding gown stuff, and love chiffon and things like that. So we were looking for rayon, and we didn't find much, but we did find some good things. So I will share those with you in a fabric haul. And then we went to the Ponce Market, which is in Atlanta. As we were walking in, I got hit with this restaurant smell, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want some chicken barbecue. Please give me some chicken barbecue. Could not find a restaurant in the place that was chicken barbecue, or like any kind of barbecue, like pulled pork or whatever. That would probably have chicken. Still have to get my barbecue chicken. I got to do that. So, got macarons there. Oh, this little confectionery kind of bakery. Oh, it's so good. I had lavender. Lavender food is just really good when you mix it with a lot of sugar. And I ate the sugar. Yeah, it was worth it. And we also then went on to the botanical gardens, where we saw a whole room, a whole building full of orchids. Oh my gosh. But oh my gosh, what a beautiful experience it was. And this is my daughter Mia. She will not just sit at home and say things like, let's go out to eat, let's go to a movie. She's doing things like, let's go to the botanical gardens. She just always is like that. It's never a regular old, mundane visit with her. You're always doing something. So that was amazing. And then we got up the next day and came home. So wow, what a trip. I will go anywhere with Trish, anytime, anywhere. I don't care where it is. Sometimes, stuff like that just pops up out of nowhere and you go, okay. And then it turns out to be amazing. So I will just leave you with that, and along with my favorite scripture, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend.